Apparently, he's anti-Semitic now. Oh, right, sorry. Hello and welcome to the Jib. This bi-weekly podcast is about the many and varied schemes of the many and varied U.S. law enforcement and intelligence agencies, organizations, and committees, and how they are stupid and funny. Join us on our merry journey through space and time. Hi, my name is Barry, and you might know me as the guy who gets trampled to death in the supermarket during a zombie apocalypse.
Or any Black Friday sales, right?
Or anytime a group of people are in public, isn't it?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I am Seamus. You may know me from the docu-series Whose Coup Is It Anyways?
Whose coup is it anyways? And if you are a fan of the podcast, you will be aware of whose coup it is. Okay.
Usually, right?
Yes, but we're not here to discuss coup d'etat today. We're here to discuss Judith Barrett.
Judith Barrett.
Yes, I just made up the last TH sound.
Yeah. No, I don't think
okay.
agree with that.
All right, we can edit that out. Don't worry. We're here to discuss Judi Bari.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Judi Bari was born November 7th, 1949 in Silver Spring, Maryland. Her parents were both, you know what? Here you go.
Hey!
Actually, there you go. I remember the picture this time. There you go.
I like her already.
Her parents were both activists in left-wing politics.
I like them
already. They advocated for civil rights and opposed the Vietnam War. Judi Bari attended the University of Maryland for 5 years. She dropped out without graduating. She said her college career was most notable for anti-Vietnam War rioting.
Rioting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Judi worked briefly as a clerk for a chain grocery store, where she became a union organizer.
Dun, dun, union organizer.
Should starting right out of the gate, right?
Yeah.
As a mail handler, she organized the Wildcat Strait in the U.S. Post Office bulk mail facility in Maryland.
USPS.
Already an enemy of the state, you know.
Yeah.
She then moved to the Bay Area of Northern California in 1979. She met her future husband, Michael Sweeney,
Irish.
a labor. Yeah. Last name of Barry, right?
Well, no, with an I, Barry, I think is Jewish.
Really? Okay.
I think so. Yeah. With mine is RRY, my first name.
Well,
that's Irish, but a BARI, I think is Jewish. I'm not sure.
Did not know that.
Jewish.
Fair. At a labor organization conference is where those two hooked up. They shared an interest in radical politics, and in '79, Barry and Sweeney married and settled in Santa Rosa, California. Had 2 kids, 2 daughters.
Sure, that's the end of her story. She settled down in Santa Rosa, California, 2 daughters, and it's an exceptionally short podcast this week. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, right. Ooh, was that you or me?
I
had a sound.
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
Okay, that's probably a good thing. Okay, I fixed that.
Cool.
Moving right along. During the 80s, Judi devoted herself to Pledge of Resistance, a group that opposed U.S. policies in Central America. We've covered a lot of that stuff already, right? She was known for her talented banter on the bullhorn.
Oh, there she is.
Yep.
Bantering on the bullhorn.
Yep. She also edited, wrote, and drew cartoons for political leaflets and publications.
She's a machine.
Yep. Around 1985, she moved north with her husband and 2 kids to the vicinity of the Redwood Valley in Mendocino County, California, in the area of old timber towns. Now, also about this time in 86, Charles Hurwitz bought the Pacific Lumber Company, which included Redwood Forest and Northern California. Pacific Lumber Company is one of the biggest. I think it's like the second or third biggest lumber company in the world at this time.
Oh, the world.
Yeah. Okay. Hurwitz also he was looking to pay off the acquisition cost by doubling the company's rate of timber harvest. This did not sit well with area environmentalists.
I did not know.
Yeah. Federal government was also investigating Hurwitz over his use of junk bonds in his purchase.
Oh, like he basically is like
a predatory
repackaging shitty mortgages that people can't pay and so on. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I get why the government would not like him to pay for the
that.
Right. Okay.
Yep. So thus, Earth First a radical environmental advocacy group organized in southwestern United States decided Pacific lumber should be their focus.
Okay.
In 88, Judi was instrumental in starting a local one of the Industrial Workers of the World, the IWW. We'll probably have to do an episode. Yeah, we'll probably have to do an episode on them at some point.
A separate one.
Yeah, there's a lot of the IWW stuff, man.
Yeah.
Anytime labor's involved in unions, the government's got to come in.
Yeah, remember the government hates nothing more than unions. Yeah.
IWW began forming an alliance with Earth First in protest against cutting old growth redwoods. Judi used her labor organizing background to run a workshop on the IWW at one of Earth First. What's safe space? Basically, they had a bunch of different locations that Earth First would meet.
Was it called safe space?
No, I think that was a typo or correcting. I don't know what that is. Yeah. Anyways, Earth First has the exclamation point. So anytime after the exclamation point, it was constantly trying to change words. So,
the autocorrect thing.
Yeah. Anyways,
that happens to me.
So I'm guessing that's what happened. I don't know.
Anyways, as well.
They were in their safe space. Through the formation of the EFIWW Local 1, she sought to bring together environmentalists and timber workers who were concerned about harvest rates by timber industry. She believed that they had a shared interest, right? Yes. So, she's, fucking an environmental activist and a labor organizer.
Yeah.
This is like the pure evil for certain people, right? She's loaded for bear.
She's ready.
That year, Judi organized the first forest blockade to promote expanding the South Fork Elk River Wilderness, managed by the U.S. Bureau of Land Management. Many timber workers saw the environmentalists as a threat to their livelihood. At this time, environmentalists were backing their legal suits against timber overcutting by staging blockades at job sites in the woods and tree sitting, which they literally would just sit atop a tree.
I've seen people do that in England.
Yeah. Loggers just saw this as actions of harassment. The perception often led to heated and sometimes violent confrontations between loggers and demonstrators.
We support our timber industry. Is he one of the guys who doesn't like her?
Yeah. That's the impression I'm getting from this picture, but
Yeah.
Judi emphasized nonviolent actions but the media portrayed her as an obstructionist saboteur. The folks working the timber line were not happy with Judi. Many sent her death threats. One timber worker rammed her car with a logging truck in '89.
Okay.
She was in the car. It was her and her kids in the car. Fortunately, nobody was hurt, but I believe her.
It's not good.
Yeah. Attacks on environmentalists became common around the time. In August '89, environmentalist Mem Hill was assaulted by a logger in front of 30 witnesses. The logger broke her nose, then threatened the 30 activists who witnessed the assault by firing a shotgun in the air. Yeah. Bensino County Sheriff's deputies refused to arrest the logger or even take statements from the victims. When the owner of a logging truck company struck a demonstrator in the face as she was protesting the company's hauling of overgrowth redwood logs, and did so directly in front of a county deputy who witnessed the attack from relatively, close range. The truck owner faced zero consequences for his actions.
Okay.
When private tree climbers employed by timber companies were deputized by Humboldt County sheriffs, I love that. Right? They just we need more deputies. Pling! It's just like, the sprinkling the holy water, now you're saved. Go on the way. Violently and dangerously distracting tree sitters from 100 feet above the ground. Law enforcement lauded this action.
They pulled them out of the trees.
They just fucking chucked people out of the fucking trees. Oh, God. When Humboldt County sheriff's officers used cotton swabs to rub pepper spray directly into the eyes of environmental protesters, the cops were neither reprimanded nor suspended.
Well, cops will swing right in any given situation, right?
That's just, what the fuck, man, right?
Use cotton swabs to rub pepper spray directly into the eyes of environment. When you showed me the script first yesterday, I could feel it in my eyes. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's rough, right?
But not all the things were rosy between Barry and other folks, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Judi. Differences between Judi and her husband, rose up as they do, mainly over politics and their lives changing. In '88, with a divorce between her and her husband underway, she met Daryl Cherney.
So Daryl.
Yep. The two they became a romantic relationship based on their shared political beliefs and appeared together in various protests.
Okay.
Around this time, Judi began incorporating music into her demonstrations.
Joan Baez.
Yeah, she played the fiddle and sang original compositions by Daryl, who played guitar. Sometimes she sang her own songs. Their song titles and lyrics aroused controversy, as many listeners considered them offensive. More in the tunes here in a bit.
Why would you say that? Why would you say the song lyrics and the tunes are offensive? Well, more on that later.
Yeah.
Just now. Tell me now.
Yeah. On April 22nd, 1990, a group called Earth Night Action Group sabotaged power poles in southern Santa Cruz County, causing power outages. Upon hearing of this incident, Judi reportedly said, "Desperate times call for desperate measures." And so what if the ice cream melted? Hey. Observers interpreted her statements as approval of sabotage and thought Earth First might still be involved in such activities. A provocative flyer was publicized that had been written by Cherney. He called Earth Night's actions and featured images mocking Wrench, an Earth Mover, and figures representing saboteurs in the night. So basically a little bit of a fuck you, right?
Yeah.
But Cherney said that the flyer was fictitious, and the identities of the member facetious. Pardon. Thank you for that. Identities of the members of Earth Night's Action Group was never been established, and their relationship to Earth First was a matter of speculation. Earlier that year, various environmental groups were called out for tree spiking.
Wait now. Are you claiming? Are you sort of suggesting that maybe she was the Earth Night Action Group?
I don't know what to make of it, honestly. Because there's a lot of
right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of speculation.
Okay.
So, I mean, she did call for not to be violent. The specific
Yeah, but
thing,
they're not suggesting anything violent either. They're just suggesting to sabotage machinery.
Right now, tree spiking. The reason that is an issue is because they would literally put spikes into a tree, and if somebody was cutting, and if it got caught, if the machinery got caught, you can get hurt. People have been killed.
So tree spiking means putting spikes in trees.
Yes, literally.
I know it sounds obvious, but I did not know that. When I read this,
I didn't either.
I didn't know it. Oh, okay. I thought tree spiking
I had to read
else.
up on it.
Okay,
yeah. Other actions that led to injuries and sometimes death to area loggers.
Right.
Judi and Earth First were against such actions. Now they weren't always. Whenever they started, they were. Even Judi writes a song about it, which we'll talk about in a second. But they grew and decided, hey, this isn't, especially because remember, they were actually talking to the loggers and trying to get them on their side. And that was some of the shit that the loggers would bring up, like, what the fuck? How am I going to be okay with you whenever you're going to put me in danger? And so they're like, okay. Yeah, so let's try to find other ways to, not be, dicks and hurt you.
Like these loggers don't realize it, but they are also victims of the huge corporations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Judi and the leadership of Earth First openly condemned these publications and claimed, oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I skipped ahead there. Still, pamphlets began to circulate claiming to be Earth First, promoting tree spiking and other violent acts. Judi and the leadership of Earth First openly condemned these publications and claimed that they were fraudulent. It was never determined who was trying to make the group out to be hell-bent on violence.
We can guess.
Yeah. These fraudulent fires led to members of Earth First receiving dozens of death threats. Law enforcement refused to investigate the death threats, signaling their tolerance for violence against environmentalists. If you turn up dead, Judi, Montecito County Deputy or Sheriff's Sergeant, Steve Satterwhite told Barry, then we'll investigate.
If you turn up dead, we'll investigate.
Yeah, we'll check it out then.
That seems sarcastic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
May 9th, 1990, a failed incendiary pipe bomb was discovered in the Lewis Pacific Sawmill in Cloverdale. A hand-lettered sign saying LP Screws Mill Workers was placed outside the mill. Responsibility for the bomb was never established. May 22nd, 1990. Judi met local loggers to agree on ground rules for nonviolence during the Redwood summer demonstrations. Redwood Summer was an effort to rally folks behind man, I can speak today. Proposition 130, yeah. If Proposition 130, the Forest Forever Initiative, would pass in the fall of 1990 elections, it would put an end to the unsustainable liquidation, logging, and clear cutting. The three big logging corporations of the Redwood region, Georgia Pacific, Louisiana Pacific, and Pacific Lumber, would lose hundreds of millions of dollars.
But no, they wouldn't really lose hundreds of millions of dollars. It would just take longer for them to make it.
True. That's true. Yeah. Right, yeah. An early afternoon of the May 23rd, 1990, Judi started a road trip to Santa Cruz to organize Redwood Summer and related musical events. She stopped for a press conference at Ukiah and for a meeting at Seeds of Peace Collective House in Berkeley. That night, she stayed overnight in Oakland at a house near MacArthur Park. MacArthur and Park Boulevard.
Near MacArthur Park.
Yeah. Who sang that?
In Oakland. Oh, Richard Harris, was it?
Was it? Okay. On May 24th, 1990, in Oakland, California, Judi and Daryl were traveling in her car when it blew up by a pipe bomb under her seat.
Her car exploded.
Yep. She was driving and was severely injured by the blast. Daryl suffered minor injuries. FBI bomb investigators reached the scene nearly simultaneously with the first responders from Oakland Police Department.
The FBI bomb investigators. Normally it takes a few days for them to get there, doesn't it?
Yeah. And Judi raised suspicion that the FBI knew about the bomb beforehand and might have been responsible for it.
Smells like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. More about that in a few. But now it's time for the top 10.
Top 10, yeah. We decided I'm going to read these out today, even though you wrote them all. These are the top 10 songs by Daryl and Judi, and I cannot emphasize this enough. We're not joking. These are actual songs by Daryl and Judi that I've been assured that these are real, right? By Seamus. Okay. Straight in at number 10, Bomb School. Bomb School! Bomb School! Do, 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 do. Okay. Number 9, Who Bombed Judi Bari? Or as I like to call it, the FBI song. 8, Not a Carload of Nuns. Okay, so that does leave the field open for what it would be, because it's not a carload of nuns. 7, Logging to Infinity. All right, which, okay. 6, it's called Letters to the Editor. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my shit together. Number 5. Okay. Number 5 of the songs. These are real songs, okay? Yeah. Number 5 is Spike a Tree for Jesus. Okay? Number 4 is Will This Fetus Be Aborted? Which is, I guess, a little bit of mission creep for their organization, but whatever, right?
Yeah, she took part in anti or pro-abortion rallies. So
choice stuff.
Yeah, Judi did. So
I would imagine so if she's like a labor leader and so on. Number 3 in the top 10 songs by Daryl and Judi is Knocking Out the Leaders, which is fair enough. Number 2 is a gentle ballad called Gentrification. And the number 1 top song by Daryl and Judi is Francis Bacon Was a Pig.
That's awesome. But there's more.
There's more. We always have a bonus round to these things, don't we?
Yep.
Okay, the bonus round in the songs that Daryl and Judi wrote is The FBI Stole My Fiddle.
Dum-dum.
All right. That is the top 10 songs by Daryl and Judi, and now I just want to listen to them all. Francis Bacon Was a Pig. That's intriguing.
Yeah. They said I only listened to the last one on the bonus.
What one did you listen to?
Yeah, the FBI Stole My Fiddle.
Does it
So,
deliver on the promise of the title?
oh yeah, yeah, it's really good.
Are you recommending we all look for the FBI Stole My Fiddle and listen to it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I have a lot of recommendations before this is over, so
okay, good stuff.
That's definitely one.
Francis Bacon was a pig. I want to listen to that one as well. Oh shit, is that the car she
That's
was
the
in?
car. Yep.
Fuck me, how did they get out alive?
Oh, you wait. It's
Oh, sorry, I've only read the script. I haven't seen any of these photos. I've only read the script.
There's some more pictures that you'll just be shaking your head.
Oh my god.
Here, but, the FBI took jurisdiction of the case from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Boy, that used to be longer. Alleging that it was eco-terrorism case. When the Oakland police,
she was guilty of something,
right? It's like right out of the gate.
Yeah.
The FBI initially accused Judi and Daryl of knowingly carrying a bomb for the use of terrorism. The story made headlines nationwide. By 3 p.m. of that day of the bombing, Judi was arrested for transportation of illegal explosives. She was being treated in Highland Hospital at the time.
That's like what the Israelis do. Like when they blow up a hospital in Gaza, and they say, "Well, actually, that was a Hamas bomb that misfired." And it was like, "I don't think so, buddy. I think you targeted the hospital."
Yeah. The call was coming from inside the house.
Yes,
right?
and it was in Hebrew.
Yeah. When a reporter asked Judi what she wanted the FBI to do about the bombing, she said, "Find the bomber and fire him."
Oh, sassy! I like the sass.
Yeah. Just after the bombing, Judi was being was being wheeled into surgery. An Oakland police officer asked Judi, "Who did this to you?" She said, "Timber."
Timber, yeah. Pretty much, right?
I don't think that was like a warning, like "Look out, Timber."
No, timber. No, she was accusing the timber industry of hurting her.
Yeah.
Pipe bomb blast. Exactly. Yeah. That's the same car as we saw in the last photo in the same condition. My God, they were in that car. Yep. And the FBI is trying to say that they did that to themselves by accident.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
The activists and their attorneys would eventually come to believe that both answers were correct. A view widely shared in U.S. environmental activist communities. Revered environmentalist David Brower, former executive director of the Sierra Club, said the bombing, we've seen in the operations of our own government all sorts of acts that make it impossible to believe our government. As they can fund death squads in El Salvador, they can fund death squads in the United States.
True. Facts.
Yeah. The first FBI agent to show up at the bomb scene was Special Agent Timothy McKinley. Sorry. He arrived less than 20 minutes after the bomb detonated. Later in a report, McKinley wrote that the next officer to the scene told him, "Judi Bari and Daryl Charney are subjects of an FBI investigation in the terrorist field." This agent was Frank Doyle.
Irish.
Now, he might look familiar to some of you if you ever watched Mythbusters, because he was on there too.
He was on an episode of Mythbusters?
On several episodes.
As a person or as a subject? Like
as in he would talk about bombs and stuff.
He's a consultant.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Bomb expert of the FBI.
Yeah. May not feel the same way about him when this is over. But hey.
If any of you have ever, by the way, called the police to a rough situation, or you're in trouble and you call the police, remember the FBI officer got to the scene. The FBI guy got there in 20 minutes. Less than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
That doesn't happen.
That
doesn't happen. Trust me. Again, he was a bomb expert. Later, court testimony revealed that exactly 1 month after the Oakland bombing, Doyle. Sorry, thank you. Damn, I'm butchering this fucking script.
Lots of words
here. Yeah. Before the bombing, Doyle had run what is called a bomb school anti-terrorist course on the Louisiana Pacific land. It's really interesting. Doyle arrived on the scene shortly after McKinley and immediately took charge. Later, told the court he just happened to be driving around the East Bay in his Suburban. Special Agent John Conway showed up next, followed by dozens of other agents from what the FBI called its terrorist squad. Later, Judy quipped that the FBI arrived so quickly it was as if the agents had been standing around the corner with their fingers in their ears.
Like as if they just threw a grenade and then we're waiting for it to blow. That's funny.
Yeah. Oakland Police Sergeant Michael Sitterud, close enough, later declared in a sworn deposition that during a briefing on the evening of the bombing, FBI agent John Rakes told Oakland police officers that he was in charge of the FBI terrorist investigation unit, that Bari and Cherney in fact qualified as terrorists, and that there was an FBI investigation going on their activities where these individuals were suspects.
Okay, so they have a file on them. Okay.
At the time of the bombing, Riggs was meeting with Soviet security agents to formulate a safety plan for the upcoming visit to the U.S. by Soviet President then Mikhail Gorbachev. Apparently, he left this special meeting to oversee the crime scene. Seems a little, right? He told assembled officers that Bari and Cherney had been headed to Santa Cruz to bomb the Moss Landing power plant, and that the pair were known terrorists.
Well, I sure hope you got some evidence for that claim, buddy.
Well, unfortunately, in court, for the FBI, that is, they were unable to validate any of these claims.
Okay, they're just saying shit. Okay.
The FBI moved with remarkable speed and linked Bari.
You might say uncharacteristic speed as well.
Yeah, right. Later, the activist lawyer, famed civil rights attorney Dennis Cunningham said they cooked an affidavit up and presented it to the judge at 2 in the morning. Got a search warrant, searched the homes of Daryl and Judy overnight. The next day, the news was there. It was all on the news. They took several of Judy and Daryl's friends into custody and then went ahead with this case. I don't intend to run out of town, said Bari. I don't intend to shut up now. We're going to sue their asses. Yay. Yep. FBI agents traveled by helicopter 200 miles to Bari and Cherney's homes. The FBI didn't just search Bari's home. They tore apart, terrorized her young kids who were there with Bari's ex-husband at the time. They confiscated hundreds of common household items, red marker, duct tape, Elmer's glue, that they had said were bomb-making materials. So
I have a red marker and duct tape and glue in my house.
You have? Oh, fucking terrorist. I knew it.
The FBI may come to my house in a helicopter in the middle of the night.
Fucking terrorist. Agents ripped apart window sills, searched in search of nails, which they would later claim matched those that were strapped to the bomb. Despite clear signs of a ruse, the press covered the discovery as facts. Even after FBI's own top crime lab analyst, David R. Williams, based in Washington, D.C., examined the nails and determined that they were nowhere near a match. Nor could they possibly be, since nails are produced in batches of many millions. The FBI insisted that indeed they were. In his affidavit, Sittard, the sergeant from Oakland, even reported that Williams had told him Bob fragmentation nails and the two identical nails from the box in Miss Bari's residence were manufactured by the same machine within a batch of 200 to 1,000 nails. In later deposition, Williams testified he had said no such thing.
Not even that he said no such thing, but he said the exact opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
Moreover, if you're going to put nails in a nail bomb, why would you go to your own windowsill?
Yeah, right? You just go to the store.
Just go to the store, buy some nails, preferably in a town far away from where you live, but still, you know.
Yeah, just makes no fucking sense. The pipe bomb had clearly been placed under Bari's seat.
There she is.
Where police and paramedics found a gaping 2-foot by 4-foot hole. Later, paramedics would testify that he had actually stood in the hole under the driver's seat to extract Bari from the car. Yet within an hour of the bombing and forever forward, the FBI and Oakland police would insist that the bomb had been on the floor of the back seat. No matter that the back seat was virtually undamaged.
That makes no sense. Their claim makes no sense at all on any level.
Right. Therefore, they said that Judi and Daryl must have seen the device and were knowingly carrying their bomb.
And they must have seen it because it was definitely in that place that it definitely wasn't in.
Right.
Right.
Various legal team would eventually obtain photos of the bombed out car taken by Michelle Beebe of the Oakland Police, who was the first officer at the scene. In her report, Beebe states that she took photos showing the damage under the driver's seat. The photos clearly show a gaping hole directly under the driver's seat and an intact back seat. So let me show you.
Oh, you have them?
I have two photos I can show you here.
Cool. That looks like some damage.
Yeah.
Pretty dramatic damage.
Yeah.
She was sitting on top of that.
Yep.
Jesus, they must have blown her arse off.
And then...
Oh, the back seat. Look at it. That's the back seat.
Huh? I mean, that's
the back seat, pretty much intact.
Yeah. And you see like where she's at, it's fucking gone.
Yeah. That's pretty clear cover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're saying the bomb was under that seat that's intact in the photo.
Yeah.
Wow, a bunch of morons. Okay. Not just that.
Really...
Yeah. No, but it's just stupid. Like, the whole thing is stupid.
Yeah. I mean, anybody sees that is going to say, exactly what... I mean, it's just fucking common sense.
Yeah.
They released to us these incredible photos that absolutely, without a doubt, show that the FBI and Oakland police lied. That they knew that they were lying, Judi said. Any idiot would have known that the bomb was under the front seat and meant to kill. My observations of these photos is this evidence. The evidence was unambiguous, and so the arrest based on the claim that they thought the bomb was in the back seat must have been deliberate rather than a mistake.
Yeah, the whole thing looks like a setup now, right?
Yeah. It was later discovered, that was Judi, by the way, said it. It was later discovered that it was Doyle who allegedly overruled the Oakland sergeant on the scene, who was who said that the bomb was under the driver's seat. Other officers at the scene testified that Doyle argued with him and quote saying, I've been looking at bomb scenes for over 20 years. I'm looking at this one, and I'm telling you, you can rely on it. This bomb was visible to the people who loaded the back seat of this car. Right. Doyle later claimed that 2 bags of nails found in the back of Judi's car matched nails taped to the bomb with shrapnel for a shrapnel effect, when in fact there were not even the same type.
Why did she have 2 bags of nails in the back of her car?
Right. Well, obviously to be shrapnel. I mean, she's got to fuck up some stuff, right?
So they planted the nails as well, and not even the right ones. Yeah.
Now something else to consider is that the FBI, based on a few episodes too, as we've covered here, has a history of stirring up things with activist groups. It may show to learn that this wasn't the first time the FBI had been involved with Earth First. In 1988, a major FBI sting operation launched against Earth First in Arizona. The FBI spent $3 million and employed over 50 agents, extensive wiretaps, body wires, and overt entrapment in order to arrest Arizona First activists for conspiracy to down power lines.
Okay.
At the heart of Operation Thermicon, short for Thermite Conspiracy, where undercover FBI provocateur Michael Fain and informant Ron Frazier, who infiltrated a group of environmentalist activities in Prescott, though unsuccessful, the FBI worked long and hard, that's what she said, to entrap these individuals into using explosives to down power lines. Apparently, the FBI sought to involve Earth First, with explosives in order to create a sensation, no case against them. This would serve to discredit Earth First and provide justification to conduct illegal investigations and operations against the political and First Amendment activities of an environmental movement nationwide. Where have I heard that before? Busted on May 30th in 1989 in the Arizona desert, 4 people were caught with cutting torches, attempted to disable power transmission towers leading to a pumping station of central Arizona. Project CAP. CAP is $1 billion pork barrel project to carry Colorado River water uphill across hundreds of miles of desert to water lawns of Phoenix and Tuscan.
And now for the non-Americans, a pork barrel project, I think, is a project that gets tacked onto some fairly essential legislation as just a way to spend money locally to get the thing over the line for the local representatives. Yeah. Is that true?
Yep, that's a very, very well way of saying it, Barry. Judi laughed, calling this the only joint FBI Earth First action ever to take place. Undercover FBI agents picked their target, drove the truck, and taught activists to use accelerated torch. The FBI paid informant Ron Frazier $54,000 in cash in exchange for the implications of Earth Firsters, and granted him immunity for prosecution for various crimes. Again, does this not sound familiar?
Yeah.
Judi, the first lesson in activism is that the person that offers to get the dynamite is always the FBI agent.
Let me just pause a moment for Judi there. Do you remember the Freddie Hampton episode we had?
Exactly. It's like
the guy who was pushing all the guns and the bombs was the undercover FBI agent, and obviously so all along. And they all just ignored him. The whole Black Panthers were all like, no, dude, we don't need bombs, man. We're cool.
But he made a good chili that night, so good. So that was bad.
Sleepy
chili. Yeah. In 1999, investigative reporter Nicholas Wilson from the Albion Monitor wrote, "There is evidence from the FBI's own files that agents falsified evidence against Bari and Trinity, suppressed exonerating evidence, and conspired with Oakland police to try to frame them. There is good reason to believe the FBI was actively or passively involved in a bombing. Within an hour of the Oakland explosion, none other than Special Agent Doyle, the bomb school instructor, was taking charge of the bomb scene investigation. Since he was the FBI's top Bay area bomb expert, the FBI and Oakland bomb investigators first at the scene, some of whom had been his students, deferred to his assertions about the evidence."
Okay, well, that makes sense, I guess.
Yep. Dennis Cunningham argued in a court brief, in sum, there was no such an experienced bomb technician as Frank Doyle or other investigators, or Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder would not have known that the bomb was under the seat when it blew up. Cunningham went on to argue that the investigation that the FBI conducted was in fact really a sham. There was not a serious or good faith attempt to solve the bombing either. And within the cover of that, they did a lot of work investigating Earth First. No matter the evidence, FBI and Oakland police fed state and national media with a stream of fabrications to further discredit Earth First and convict Bari and Trinity in the press. In 1990, the FBI media outreach about the bomb was such regular and that in July, when Earth First activist Mickey Doulis arrived in New York, it appears on the Donahue daytime TV show. Her cab driver, learning that she was a representative of Bari and Trinity, said, "You mean the people who bombed themselves?" Hey. July 17th, 1990, Alameda County Assistant District Attorney Chris Carpenter announced that his office would not prosecute Bari or Trinity due to lack of evidence. The DA didn't want to go down with the ship that the FBI and the Oakland police were sinking, Trinity said. He also added, "There's little joy in vindication when there's still a mad bomber on the loose."
Fair enough.
Yeah. "I don't intend to be run out of town now. We're going to sue their asses." I think I said that before.
She still said it.
Yep. Unfortunately, on November 6, 1990, Proposition 130 was defeated by California voters with 52.13 against. Yeah. Opponents emphasized the disruptive activities of the Redwood Summer, which interfered with timber workers and the support of Earth First for Proposition 130. It had been accused of sabotage and violence against workers in the past. Despite their vindication, the smear campaign against Judi, Daryl, and Earth First worked. So that kind of,
People believed the bullshit.
exactly. Judi and Daryl were not done. Their legal team uncovered loads of information that not had been presented to them in the first place. Sorry, they had previously kept from them. One was the existence of a letter linked to the bomb. 6 days after the bombing, the Santa Rose press Democrat received a typed letter taking credit for the bombing. The letter was signed "The Lord's Avenger."
Lord's Avenger, okay.
Yeah. The letter described in detail the composition of the bomb in Judi Bari's car. I built with these hands the bomb that I placed in the car of Judi Bari. Doubt me, not for I will tell you the design and materials such as I know. The letter declared that the primary motive behind the Oakland bombing was revenge for the counter-demonstration Bari had conducted in front of Planned Parenthood clinics in Ukiah years earlier. I saw Satan's flames shoot from her mouth and eyes and ears, as one does. The reference was to an incident in November '88 in which Bari confronted radical anti-abortionists who were intimidating women coming to the clinic. The leader of the anti-abortion protesters was an ex-football player and Louisiana Pacific mill worker, Bill Staley. At the beginning of the rally, Staley barred into the clinic and asked if this is a place where they were killing babies.
Lovely.
Yeah. So this is probably why the song. Well, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. When she came to confront Staley and her cohorts, Judi decided the best defense was an offense, or be offensive as possible, right? Standing directly across from Staley, Bari and Cherney sang a tune that they wrote the night before. Will the fetus be aborted?
Yeah. Will the fetus be aborted? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. In the letter, the Lord's Avenger also took credit for the May 10th pipe bombing of the Louisiana Pacific Corporation mill in Cloverdale, claiming that he had done so to frame Judi. Local police found handwritten sign outside at LP Screw's Millworkers, considering he's a mill worker, right? The writer described Cloverdale bomb in great detail too. The press Democrat ultimately decided to contact the FBI about the letter. Within hours, agents arrived and took it into evidence. When the FBI explosive expert read the letter, they concluded that the author, in fact, had direct access to specific information about both devices, indicating that the author's close precipitation, either directly or indirectly, with bomb making.
Well, that's true. Then it's nothing to do with the timber industry.
Maybe.
Or
right?
the FBI.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The religious rhetoric in the letter led many people close to the case to suspect Bill Staley, but records suggest that the FBI investigators didn't question Staley until more than 2 months later, because they were too busy, focusing on Judi and Daryl.
Freeman her up.
Yeah. He then denied both being the Lord's Avenger and planting bombs, and volunteered to take a lie detector test. According to Bari's legal team, he was dismissed as a suspect.
Lie detector tests mean nothing.
Sure. Sorry.
All right.
Tuesday, May 21st, 1991, Judi and Daryl filed lawsuit against the FBI Oakland Police Department. 3 days later, on the first anniversary of the bombing, Bari addressed 200 supporters gathered outside the federal building in San Francisco. I was targeted for assassination by the Timber Corporation, backed by the full power of the police state. No serious investigation has taken place. I've been blamed for the crime like a rape victim.
Well, maybe she wasn't targeted for assassination by the timber corporations. I mean, she was definitely blamed for the crime like a rape victim, but maybe it was and a pro-life activists that were targeting her. Right?
Sure. Yep. Yeah. Or I mean, it all could. I mean,
and then the FBI just kind of dovetailed their interests.
Yeah. And it could have been just that the bomb was planted and the FBI was there to pick him up and the bomb just went off. I don't, you know what I mean? There's always
It's an
that.
odd thing that they arrived on super quick, isn't it? And that the guy lied
Yeah.
immediately. Like, look at that photo. I
Yeah.
know nothing about bomb dynamics, and I can tell you where that bomb was and where it wasn't.
Right. I
Look-
mean, your
look at
eyes
that
are just
photo.
not gonna.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
hello.
Judy and her legal team. We'll talk
Hey.
about them more here in a second. In addition to the highlighted FBI history of representation, the Barry Cherney lawsuit would expose the Oakland Police Department's long collaboration with the FBI to disrupt
here
and
we go.
destroy political movements. In a deposition, Kevin Griswold, the Intelligence Division chief of the Oakland Police Department, admitted that his office had monitored Earth First activities since 1984, including through the efforts of at least one informant who had infiltrated the West Coast Earth First groups. He noted that his department kept files on more than 300 political groups and individuals throughout the San Francisco Bay Area.
A lot of files.
Yeah. In 1996, the plaintiff's attorneys learned of a paid informant whose testimony was being used to justify the arrests. They sought to have the name of the agent revealed, but the presiding judge refused to disclose the information. So, Dennis Cunningham, who would be the gentleman on your left there, Judy's right.
Oh, the old guy.
Led the team to represent Judy and Daryl's case. Cunningham was well known for representing prisoners who had been involved in the 1971 riot at Attica State Prison in New York. He was also the leading attorney in lawsuits exposing FBI and Chicago police conspiracy to assassinate Black Panther leader Fred Hampton. Cunningham and attorney Mark Harris also represented plaintiffs in pepper spray lawsuit against the Humboldt County Sheriff's Department. So the cotton swab assholes, right?
Yeah.
And a 97 brief, Cunningham told the court, we can be found in overwhelming evidence the FBI engaged in a plot to neutralize Earth First by fomenting the arrest of Judy and Daryl after they were bombed by willing co-conspirators in the Oakland Police Department. Both groups lied about the evidence in order to smear Judy and Daryl in the headlines, then lied again to keep the sensational case going, when it was clear that there was no evidence connected the two to the bombing in any way. They are lying now to cover up the lies that they told in 1990 and 1991. The major lying and political foul play by the FBI, which occurred in the case, qualified it as a major scandal in its own right. A special prosecutor should be appointed to look into the lying and falsified that has occurred and is still going on. Which,
at the very least, two middle-aged white guys should do a podcast about it.
Yeah, but by the way, there never was
nothing
was ever appointed.
No tribunal. No. Okay.
It's also worth noting, since we're bringing up all these names from the past, right? We do have a bit of a returning champion in this, and he was also named in the suit. His name is Agent Richard Held. Held was a special agent in charge in the San Francisco office between 85 and 93 during the extensive COINTELPRO operations against Earth First. He was also involved in some of our past episodes concerning the Black Panthers and Leonard Peltier.
Free Leonard Peltier.
Free Leonard Peltier. He will no doubt be featured in future episodes.
Did you mention this guy by name, or is he just a part of it?
I think I did with Peltier, because I know he definitely played a pretty role in empowering certain people there to do some nefarious things. Anyways, after 11 years and many attempts by the FBI to squash the suit, the case would go to court. Leading up to the trial, plaintiffs' attorneys conducted more than 50 depositions of the FBI agents, Oakland police officers, activists, and others. The FBI and the Oakland police conducted no depositions, and an astonishing dereliction of that mirrored the agency's refusal to this day to carry out an actual investigation. During the 2 months of the trial, which ran from April to June 2002, plaintiffs called 41 witnesses and the defense called none.
0.
Yeah.
All right.
The FBI went so far as to attempt to disallow Judy from providing her own deposition in her case. Unfortunately, in 1996, Judy was diagnosed with breast cancer, terminal, which had spread to her liver. When her attorneys were asked asked that she be allowed to give her deposition. Justice Department Attorney Joseph Scheer managed to block the action for more than a month, accusing Judi of faking cancer.
Surely one phone call to the doctor would be the end of that.
The court finally allowed Bari to give her deposition, and on January 30th and 31, 1997, providing testimony while reclined on a couch.
There she is.
Yep.
She does not look healthy.
No, she doesn't.
Well, she's happy.
It's a shame. Oh, she's happy because she gets to tell her story, right? So,
yeah.
Attorneys for the FBI and Oakland Police Department asked not a single question. They didn't ask anything. She just told her tale, and they didn't. Nothing. That just does not fucking happen, man. It just does not happen. Unfortunately, Judi died on March 2nd, 1997.
2 months later.
Yep.
She died with honor like a Klingon.
What's that?
She died with honor like a Klingon.
Yeah.
She had a warrior's death.
Those fuckers just kept on trying to delay because they wanted her to fucking die and not be able to fucking.
Oh, yeah.
So fucking gross. Her estate and Daryl continued prosecuting the case, which was expose a sham investigation, bonus investigation of the bombing, which was one element of an intelligence gathering operation, political spying operation about Earth First movement and about the environmental movement in Northern California. That's part of the opening remarks by Cunningham during the trial. The mechanisms of which was, in classic terms, a frame-up that was concocted by the FBI and Oakland police. He said without equivocation that he believed that the FBI must have been directly involved in planting the pipe bomb in Judi's car. That's pretty damning.
It kind of looks that way, but I'm curious as to exactly how that happened.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can get into a car. It was parked overnight, and if it was that pipe bomb stuff under your,
how is this pro-life guy? How is he a part of it? Is what I'm wondering. Like, he says he did it, and that's not entirely outside the bounds of reason either.
Right. Well, that Staley guy said he didn't do it, but
okay.
Right. Whoever wrote. We'll talk about that here.
Okay.
If we'll touch on it. Anyways, June 11th, 2002, the federal jury agreed. They found 6 of the 7 FBI Oakland police defendants.
Once again, a federal jury fucks up the local police.
Yep.
There we go.
So they found him liable for violating.
There's Cunningham behind him.
Yep. For violating Bari and Cherney's First Amendment's right of free speech, and for violating the Fourth Amendment through false arrest, illegal search and seizure. The jury awarded Judi's estate and Daryl $4.4 million in compensated damages. Daryl told the press, "The American public needs to understand that the FBI can't be trusted. 10 jurors got a good hard look at the FBI, and they didn't like what they saw."
Correct.
Fuck yeah. In 2017, the Environmental Protection Information Center posthumously honored Judi Bari with its annual Preference Life Achievement Award. Thank you. Award. Several people spoke in honor and sang environmental songs and gathered with 300 revelries at the Mattel Community Center in Redway, Southern Humboldt County. Goddamn, I should have just made that shorter. One of the speakers was Dennis Cunningham. Just want to put up another picture of Judy because I'd rather remember her like that, right? So
Judi Bari, Joan Baez edition.
Yeah.
Right.
On stage, Cunningham honored Judi acumen and courage, but he also said something that because it came from a leading attorney in this case, Cunningham, without equivocation, said that he believed that the FBI had been directly involved in planting the bomb. Judi was someone, as events proved, who was dangerous to the state. She was like some of the Panthers and some of the other organizations who were really special targets of the FBI in the 60s and 70s, and that had something that they could recognize was powerful, that she could generate herself out of her own personality, her own experience, her own understanding of politics that she was involved in.
Mm.
It was only because she holds that kind of danger that they took the risk of striking at her the way that they did. I don't think that after the case that they were ever in too much doubt that they, the FBI, were in on the bombing before it happened. It was the only way to explain how they dealt with it and how they managed to persuade the Oakland cops to arrest her immediately, and how they were able to then put out all poison in the press and generate this sense that Earth First was a closet terrorist group. It worked for them. It worked for the people that were working with them. Which was Timber, and it worked in a sense of
Big Timber.
It's Big Timber, defeating the Forest Initiative, which clearly was going to win, and then clearly lost because it was possibly for timber industry to associate with bombing. It took a lot of years, and I mean, the bombing happened in 1990. The trial took place in 2002. And then, and only then, it was possible to establish that was all a lie, that the whole case against Judi and Daryl was a lie. Judi and Daryl worked all those years and kept the momentum alive, fight back against the horrific and horrendous strike at them that the bombing represented. So, and that's it.
That is Judi Bari. I think you don't need to be a legal expert, I think, to look at that photo and show at the very least the guy on the scene lied, and he's the FBI guy.
Yeah,
that's the start of it, and everything else then has to make sense with that piece of information.
Again, sorry to fumble through so much of that.
No, don't worry, man.
Like I told you, I was really worried about this one because there's just so much. There's so much I had to leave out because the script is so goddamn.
Tell them how many pages you had of the script before you.
31.
31 pages of script. This script now is 13 pages long, and he had 31. He scrubbed 20 pages of script. Even I've never done something like that. I scrub my scripts. That's painful, right? It's painful, right?
Two things to touch on. One, because you brought up again about this Lord's Avenger. The only thing that was ever that we know, at least that I found, that they actually did was they tried to link the letter to one of the typewriters, and either Judi or Daryl's house, or a house that they had been a part of. But they couldn't link the letter, and that seemed to just stop their investigation with it at all. They seem to just drop it.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff we don't know then.
Yeah, and the other thing is there's another suit. I think it's pending because I was trying to find what had happened with it. If somebody does, please put in the comments, or if I do one this post, I'll put it in there. That they're suing the FBI and again because the FBI has moved to destroy the evidence that they have on file.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Daryl and company, their point is, hey, the bomber's still out there. You should hold on to the fucking evidence. If it's not an active case, if you're basically admitting again that what the bomb was meant for has been done with, so you're moving on. Right. That's what you're doing when you're doing it.
There's someone in the basement of Quantico frantically feeding papers into a shredder.
Yeah. But they're going to do away with the bomb and the forensic evidence because they wanted. They're on them. They want, the DNA and all this stuff collected and checked. And it's just, what the fuck?
The FBI says no. Yeah. Sorry, don't know.
Yeah. Why would they say no? I don't know.
That's it. That's the script.
That's it, man.
So next we move on to what's in the news. Sorry, I meant what's new, not what's in the news. Maybe we should just change it. I don't know. Anyway, this part of the show, if you are new to the show, and you're probably not, but if you're new to the show, this part of the show is when Seamus and I, Seamus puts the word FBI into Google, and I put the word CIA into Google, and we both hit the news tab, and we pick like 2 or 3 stories we think might be funny or interesting. But we haven't shared what these stories are with each other before the show, unlike the script, which we have. We haven't shared what the stories are, so we're finding out about them for the first time, just like you. Seamus, hit me with your FBI business.
Okay. So I have, I think, 4
Cool. Busy week then for the FBI.
Yeah, FBI hosts the Five Eyes Summit to launch a drive to secure innovation in response to intelligence threats.
Wow, even they don't know what's going on. Look at all those words that don't mean anything.
Yeah, so it's the Australian Security Intelligence Organization, the director, the Canadian Security Intelligence Director,
Five Eyes,
the MI5 director, and the director for General Security and Chief Executive from New Zealand are going to meet with FBI Director Ray to discuss all this. I just bring it up because it just doesn't sound good. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, cynical. It just doesn't sound good.
Anytime the MI5 and the FBI get together, it's not good. It's like the MI6 and CIA getting together. Not good. Nothing good's going to happen, guys.
FBI targets Muslims and Palestinians in the wake of the Hamas attacks, civil rights advocates warn. Shocker. It's funny, though. They put out that, which I'm not, okay. They put out that their concerns about extreme anti-Semitic responses to these attacks. That's valid.
Yes, it is, yes.
But where is the concerns about anti-Muslim and Palestinian attacks?
Yeah.
It's like they just
there's anti-Semitic racists who will take this opportunity to say Jews this and Jews that. That's not, we're having nothing of that. We're going to criticize the Israeli government decisions as a separate thing from all that. And I'm not into that anti-Semitism. Jews are great. The Israeli government is not.
Fair. Very fair. So yeah, I just thought that was kind of fucked up. I
love movies. I'm a big fan of Jews.
Yeah. Vanity Fair did a piece on the FBI versus Charlie Chaplin.
Okay.
Yeah, might have to do an episode on this.
Wow.
Yeah, it says that the FBI file on Chaplin encompasses just under 2,000 pages.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, this is because he made that movie attacking fascism, is it?
I'm thinking that's probably why.
But
hey, might have to do an episode, so we'll find out if we do. So
makes that speech at the end where he's saying the workers of the world must unite. Never say that.
FBI informant reports sparks new theory about Joe Biden.
New theory about Joe Biden?
Apparently, Chuck Grassley, who's a senator, he claims that he has 40 people that are confidential human sources. Love that.
Okay.
Human sources. Alleged criminality related to President Joe, his brother James, and his son Hunter.
Any idea what the crime is?
I don't know. They keep calling the Biden crime family. I mean, would I be shocked that they're a bunch of criminals? No, I wouldn't be shocked that the Clintons are criminals. The Bushes they're all fucking criminals.
I'd like to know what the charge is, though.
I don't know. It doesn't look like he specifically says. I know there's already been like bribery and all these other things that they assert.
Oh, like just
hey, if it's true, lock them up, lock them all up. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I hate both parties. Come on.
I would hate for anyone to see our criticism of stuff as meaning supporting someone else.
I know that's
on this podcast. You did a whole episode a few weeks ago where we were basically trashing Obama the whole time. I think some people in the chat were kind of surprised that we weren't like in support of Obama because we trashed the Republicans so much. That's really not what we're about.
But we did trash, Trump at the end too, because it was Trump that charged Hale, not fucking Obama. Although Obama would have, but we're
not really interested. And I like Obama, but like we're not really interested in. We have to start with things that actually happened. We're trying to tell the truth, and sometimes the truth is just very uncomfortable.
This one's is probably less important, but I also found it was interesting. The FBI released its national crime stats. The data is horribly incomplete per
horribly.
Because
which website are you on?
This is the Guardian.
Well, the Guardian,
because they said that only 83% of law enforcement agencies submitted data. So that's a pretty. That's 17% missing. Yeah, so that's the problem. And of course, then they blame the FBI for that, which I don't know if that's fair, but hey,
they come around.
Yeah. So that's it. That's my FBI stuff.
I have 3 CIA related links.
Cool.
First one is title is from the BBC. Twitter glitch allows CIA informant channel to be hijacked. A cybersecurity researcher has exploited a glitch in the CIA's official Twitter account to hijack the channel used for recruiting spies. The CIA really dropped the ball here, the ethical hacker said. So it's on the BBC if you want to read it. It's funny. Another one is how housewives played a critical role in the CIA from time.com. And the first bit is, when it comes to women in spying, popular culture fixates on the femme fatale, a Mata Hari type of female agent wanton, and of course sinister, using her sex to steal secrets. This honeypot stereotype recently cropped up in The Sun, a British tabloid, in a piece complaining that Russia is assembling an army of deadly beauties to help win its contest in wet. There's a long ass article in Time about this, and it's a good article about women and spying and so on. And now it's really more about misogyny than anything else, but it's still interesting to read. The third link is from openculture.com, and it said how the CIA secretly used Jackson Pollock and other abstract expressionists to fight the Cold War. And there's a whole thing there about that. What's the difference between the United States of America and a cup of yogurt? If you leave the cup of yogurt alone for 200 years, it develops culture. So goes one of the many jokes. I grant, as an American, that such humor surrounds at least a grain of truth. But there was a time when the federal government took an active role in promoting the country's homegrown avant-garde, since it began as a French military term to describe the vanguard troops advancing into battle. And it's a whole thing about how Jackson Pollock was a weapon in the Cold War, and there's a whole thing. And that's in openculture.com. That is also an interesting article if you want to read it. And that is my articles on the CIA.
Wow.
And that would appear to be our show, I think, this time. We ran a little bit longer than we usually do. So if you're still with us, thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry, I could talk about Judi Bari all night. She's definitely
like another 20 pages you could talk. Yeah, and maybe we will. If I mean, some of that can be repurposed for another podcast, I'm sure.
Yeah. So definitely go check out Judi Bari. I believe it's .com, and also Who Bombed Judi Bari is a documentary. I did get a lot of information from that, as well as her website, the FBI's website,
Wikipedia page for Judi Bari.
Several articles written in, I believe Salon was one of the others. So also some of the papers at the time. So a lot of stuff out there about her and all this stuff, I'm sure. Feel free to correct me. I love that.
Let us know in the comments
direction.
where we have erred.
Apologies again. This is probably going to be our longest episode. So,
all right.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Without this episode, we wouldn't have that top 10 songs. So grateful.
True. Alrighty, folks. Just make sure you like, subscribe, share, spread the word.
We will see you in 2 weeks. Tell all your friends. Thank you.
See you all later. Bye.